Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So I got a few DMs and comments, and it's probably the thoughts of many of you guys out there. Since uh, one probably represents 100. I don't know what the percentages are, but I'll just talk about it. And you guys were making reference to the video I made about Adrien Broner walking away from me. He called me a bitch ass nigga, I think it was. And one, I know Adrien Broner. You understand what I'm saying? I vehemently know who he is. I know his personality. You know, the art of war is one of the law of art and war is 100% knowing your enemy. I'm not calling Adrien Broner my enemy. I'm just saying, just for the sake of this video, I had one another video. My daughter's getting a bath right now, and but and since I know Adrien Broner, I know how he, on average, will respond. And more importantly, I mean, how he responds to me. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, God, I can't. You guys know how many times I've interviewed Adrien Broner. Countless times, man. So that goes without mention. He and I do have a rapport. We've spoken off camera throughout the week this week. Not at great length, just short highs. How you doing? Give knuckles. You understand what I'm saying? Good luck. Yada yada yada. We stayed in the same hotel this weekend. And I stayed with all his with his team, and I know what I'm up against, and I'll use the word against, since we adamantly disagree on the character of a man, of a whole man, I would say. I didn't think that. I know he was rushing to go out. They were going to go celebrate. And when I caught him coming upstairs, and I saw him, and he knows who I am, so he will stop for me and have a conversation with me. And he has a right to disagree with me. And you guys, some of the guys was like, he called you a bitch ass nigga. I'm like, how else is Adrien Broner going to respond if he disagrees? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not the most, I'm not the reporter that wants to be the topic of the conversation in the interview. You know, I will swallow my pride at all costs for the betterment of the interview, for the betterment of my long-term success, for the betterment of Adrien Broner's success. Did I take offense to it? You know, like I knew when my mom told me. I knew when my mom told me my dad was coming to pick me up Saturday. I knew he wasn't coming. So, like, I'm not comparing apples and oranges, but when you know something, you just know. You understand what I'm saying? I intentionally use that analogy, you know, because some may say lack of father in Adrien Broner's life and lack of father in my life, in terms of public character. We are in opposite ends of the spectrum. Not no disrespect to him. It's just I'm grading it on how you guys see me in real life and how you guys see Adrien Broner in real life. And I will say this: about 4 minutes later, I'm at one end of the hall of the lobby. I'm working, uploading videos for you guys. You guys saw, and Adrien Broner is about 30 feet away from me. I says, "AB," 25 feet maybe, close enough where we're not yelling at each other, but we have to speak over our average voices. So somewhere in there. So I says, "AB, you owe me an interview, man." And he was like, "Man, he basically said, man, I'm sorry. I got some gangster shit going on right now." And that's going to lead me to my epic video that I'm going to do later. As soon as I gotta put my kids to bed right now. But I'll come back in an hour. But that pretty much, you hear the laundry, gotta do laundry. It's back to real life, man. Back to real life. The dryer just cut off. And but you know, like people have the right to weather the initial response. You understand what I'm saying? I think I'm above average at that, because if someone called me a bitch ass nigga and their energy is playful, and then they call me I have the right to refuse that comment and walk away. You know, I have a right to refuse. You know what I mean? You guys know I am the furthest man away from violence as it is. You understand what I'm saying? And I know other end of the spectrum guys like, but you box every goddamn day. The boxing is so I can get my ass in shape. The boxing is so if I ever get in a fight in the street, I have enough hand speed, enough athleticism, and I'm in enough shape where I can throw 1 or 2 punches and run my ass off. I don't want to get in a street fight at all. I win or lose, I'm going to come home with scars. I mean, look at yesterday, it was a draw. Look at last week's fight when, when someone wins and someone loses, or next week's fights when someone wins and someone loses, they still go home with bumps and bruises. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm so far removed from even wanting to initiate some sort of violence. And I got some comments in my DM. I got some emails stating that I should have responded and stood up to him. I think I did. I think I responded. I'm not gonna say I think I did. I responded, which was 100% my character, which is 100% who the man I am. I'm going to hold your hand to the fire, whether you want to be held your hand to the fire or not. And as I say in a lot of my videos, my smile is the con game sometimes. My laugh is the con game sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't like when I know something is going left, I kind of inject that. Sometimes I do it subconsciously a lot, and other times I do it to defuse. You guys heard how I walked away. I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is like Adrien Broner is not a threat to me at all. He and I have a low level type of relationship where he knows I'm going to see him 20 times a year and 10 times a year, and we're going to engage in some sort of conversation. And that's the Adrien Broner that I know. I never thought for once to respond physically. Adrien Broner meant no harm when he called me a bitch ass nigga. That's his auto responses. Those are his defense mechanisms. Those are his survival mode. That's his survival skill. Like my survival skill is to sometimes fake smile and sometimes fake laugh. Like, you know what I mean? Those are my tactile survival skills. And at the end of the day, that's what it is, man. So continue to expect that from me. When I go to Maryland on the 16th, expect me to act the same way. I may not laugh. I may look at them more stern because they've called me a bitch ass nigger on so many different levels, so many different times. They've called us bitch ass niggas so many levels on so many different times. So I think that in that is completely different. Adrien Broner has a gauge of my character. Without a doubt. No doubt, 1,000%. And he and I have a level of respect. 100% there's a level of respect between Adrien. And you guys say, he ain't got no fuck. Yeah, I believe he's not my best friend. So you guys are probably thinking about it on the best friend level. No, I'm talking about just on a man level. We've been around each other playing basketball, doing a whole bunch of shit, a lot of stuff off camera, when he comes to LA that I've never told you guys about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's it, man. And as it relates to what I said May 16th, I'm not going to respond, motherfucker this, motherfucker that, you bitch ass nigga Oscar, fuck you. You need to motherfucking apologize. Nah, that's not where I want to be. That's my last, as I say, that's like my 4th or 5th option. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna assume that I can get what we want out of that trip May 16th, and that's kind of where I'm at, man. I just want to fight for us in the most prolific and concise manner. If a fight evokes, then you got to defuse that, and then it takes 6 months to even engage in a type of conversation with Adrien Broner, or 6 months to even engage with a Golden Boy staffers. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you guys know my character. I'm not defending myself, but I understand that this video is speaking to a guy who's a fighter and somewhere in America, and hopefully I've encouraged him or her. I realized I got female subscribers, man. I met a queen last night. Got me all excited, man. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that video in my playlist because YouTube says I has 94% men and 6% women that listen to me on YouTube. We have our analytics, right? And it's grown because it used to be like 90-10. Now it's more men than women. And I know boxing is predominantly an alpha male sport, but I mean, yeah, I would say alpha male, more male dominated sport in terms of fans because of the graphicness, right? And it was just refreshing. She knew all my videos. I was like, it's like knowing every Drake song. So since we're in Brooklyn, every Biggie song, man. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, she really fucks with me. And I was deeply impressed. And that's kind of where I want, man. That's where I want to be in life. That's the margins. That's the middle of the piece of paper where I want to be. I don't want to be on YouTube like, that nigga Fred got into a fight with Adrien Broner. No, I'm going to love Adrien Broner before I fight him. At the end of the day, I'm not afraid. You guys know I'm not afraid of many people in this world. You know what I mean? And, getting back to that young brother that's somewhere in LA, that's a fighter, you know what I mean, that solves most of his problems by balling up his fists. You understand what I'm saying? And squaring up. At the end of the day, if you're a fighter, that means you've probably won more fights than you lost, right? So you have confidence in solving your equations that way. But when in actuality, you're losing long term. And the reason why I say you're losing long term, because even your allies, like for example, I'll give this great example. I'm 5'7". Let's say I have a best friend, or not a best friend. I have like my 10th friend, like who's not really like who I tell my secrets to. But if I'm going out of town or if I have a party that I'm going to, I will let him know. You understand? That friend, right? And he's a fighter, right? And he's known for solving a lot of his problems by fighting, right? We may be friends, but I don't trust him when the rubber hits the road. I don't trust him when the water's boiling out the pot. I can't trust him because how is he going to respond? By balling up his fist. No. I don't want to. How can we cross the Red Sea without all of us drowning, without not one of us drowning? That's the goal. If we get into a fight, a group fight, a brawl, some of us going to drown, including me. I may drown. So at the end of the day, I want to cross the Red Sea without no one drowning. And I believe that's why I organically, when Adrien Broner started walking to the ring, I was like, I'm rooting for him. And you know how you get that sense of realization? I got it on some level last night, and I was rooting for him. 100% throughout the fight, I was rooting for him. I was standing up, shadow boxing. You guys know what we do when we watch fights. You know, I was in the 100 section, so I wasn't ringside. Ringside, I can't do all this, but in that level, I can do kind of pretty much whatever I want. We got a lot more room, you know what I mean? And we'll see what's gonna happen with Adrien Broner. I have no idea, but that's how I'm gonna respond 9 out of 10 times, man. Honestly, I think in that setting, I would respond the same way if a motherfucker mushed me in the face like that. Even if you're a bantamweight to a 147 guy to a 175 guy, and I know you guys might say, you know what I mean? If I'm in that space in terms of wanting, if it's a reaction, you understand? If that's his reaction, I get it. You understand what I'm saying? As I say that calmly in my kitchen, right? Like, but I try and be the best version of myself at all times, man. And but anyways, man, barbershop conversation. I'll answer that. I'm gonna try and get this video in tonight. The video in which I promised you guys. I think it's an important video in terms of life, but I got to sit down and do it. The kids got to be asleep. I got to be in a dark room. Most of my videos are in a dark room, guys, and that's why I be telling you guys sometimes, like, I don't know who the fuck go listen to these videos, man. I remember what I've said it before. No need to go. Thank you, guys. Brooklyn, too much love, man. About 20, 30 people came up to me, and 20% of them wasn't black. I fucks with you. Barbershop. All I heard, barbershop, barbershop. On fight night, 20 people, barbershop. I was like, yo, y'all really fuck with me. Boxing is one epic center. I mean, Brooklyn is one epic center of boxing. And y'all motherfuckers show up and show out. It was a beautiful crowd there, man. I'll just say this, man. All my real ones out there. All my real ones. If you ever get a card like that in Brooklyn, just know the Timberlands come out and so does all the ass come out, man. If you guys get what I'm saying. Niggas and Tims and women and, oh, man. It was just a beautiful sight, man. We were spending money, having a good time, rooting for our favorite fighter. And, man, it was... I love that environment. That's where I'm most comfortable. I'll be dead ass honest. I am most comfortable being around black people. You know, I'm 100% most comfortable. I had no reverence of fear. I have nothing. I was like, man, I'm around all these black. Look at this crowd. You had husbands and wives going out, boyfriends and girlfriends. You know, I saw a lot of lesbians out there. I saw, holding hands. I mean, the rainbow of blackness that was there in terms of who you are in your real life. We all came together as boxing fans. It was fucking beautiful. I went to Shake Shack before I walked into the fight, and I was like, yo, you get goosebumps. I mean, I don't, because maybe I live in LA. We don't have that outside of Leimert Park. Outside of the Leimert Park area, the Baldwin Hills, the Ladera area, outside of that in LA, there's not a marketplace where 7 out of 10 people gonna be black. 7 out of 10 people at Shake Shack were black, buying $7 hamburgers, me included. You know what I mean? And that just goes to show you our dollar is so powerful, man. I'll say this again, and I'm gonna say this in probably 1,000 more videos. We are the 6th or 7th largest nation in the world if we put our spending dollars together. 6 or 7. It fluctuates from year to year. 6 or 7, man. And that's a beautiful thing, man. So we will be in the G8, right? I said it in the last video a couple of days ago, but I said it. I think it's a G8. You guys put it in the comment section. But I salute y'all, man. Brooklyn, I love you. That's my home state. You guys know how vulnerable and how sensitive I am when I go to New York, man, because I remember vividly, man, like I had so much instability in my household, man, and I go back as a professional. I go back as a college graduate. Not that doesn't hold value. The college graduate, the 4 years of work ethic holds value in terms of creating the work ethic. But I'll use the word college graduate because it hit home for some people, man. Just going back as a professional. I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about just going back and like, damn, you can do this shit, man. Like, and I said this in a video when I was talking to the Uber driver. You guys go listen to that video. Please listen to the video. I'm getting addicted to just recording myself in the Uber. Like I've done it so many times now. I just hit record. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Dude was a life coach today, and he and I just began talking. But I forgot what I was going to say. Damn. But going back and I had so much instability. You understand what I'm saying? And just to go back as a professional and this is what I was gonna say. If on my physical appearance, statistically, I am most likely to fail out of any American in the world, right? Short, dark skin, average average intelligence. You know, I graduated from high school with a 2.2 GPA. I graduated from college with a 2.5 GPA. If you put me on the scale, right, in terms of America, I am most likely to fail. You understand what I'm saying? Graduated from high school with a 2.2 GPA. Come on, man. And so that goes to show you, man, you are not the sum of some calibrated science experiment, man. That's all it is, man. It's just putting numbers together and putting you in the box, putting you in the box, putting her in the box, putting her in the box. When in reality, man, the goal is fulfill your purpose. That's it. You understand? I'm using boxing as a platform to reach my black men. That's just it. I appreciate, you know, all my black women that are coming along, all my women that are coming along. You understand what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, man. Y'all just, man, I'm telling you, you have no idea what this did for me. Just, you know, it was a special feeling. And for that, I say thank you. As I digress back to the original topic, Adrien Broner will have this conversation. He and I will have a conversation at some point. I will interview him a handful more times this year. He will be at fights, and he'll be at Earl Spence fight June 16th. I'm 100% sure of that. And I'm going to ask him for a one-on-one. I could have gotten a one-on-one with him this week so easy. But I don't want to have a dark conversation with him when he's fighting for his life. And that's out of love. And if, like, I have a friend who's about to face 10 years, I'm going to keep the conversations light as possible. I'm not going to remind him of the ills that he's done in the past and why he deserves it. You know, I mean, he's fighting for his life. Not because he's Adrien Broner, because I just believe that's the right thing to do. You understand? And so barbershop conversations, I got to go upstairs and read some books. I got to go downstairs and fold these clothes. And hopefully I can get to that video tonight, as I promised you guys. I got it's 8:52. I got 3 hours and 8 minutes to get that video to you guys before midnight. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Appreciate you guys. Peace.